Welcome to the God-Awful News. The God-Awful Truth. Truth is, no matter how bad the news is today, and I promise you it's God-awful, tomorrow it's going to be worse for the next 1,400 and something days. Thanks to this despicable group of politicians that are ruining countless lives, murdering people. Anyway, I don't know if this negative approach is the best way, but it's the only way because it's the truth. I've been procrastinating doing this, man. 8 hours after my last video, there was so much news to say that it was horrible. That was worse than, but I've been procrastinating. So, but I got a whole lineup here, running out of paper. So it's time to do this show already. Good morning, sweet. What's up, brother? So it's still kind of late night here, and I thought I would celebrate our Canadian brothers and sisters with a sip of their fine sipping whiskey. What was that I was consuming? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, Crown Royal. Wonder who makes that. There are friends? There are friends. What if our sociopathic, pathological lying narcissist said stuff like that? Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, it's easy to be cooler than the president. If nothing else, in addition to many things, he's the most uncool person that ever lived. Cheers to you. All right, but hey, I mean, technically I'm drinking in the morning, so I'm pulling a Pete Hegseth. Hey, Craig, you still up? Don't worry, I had to pause, Ram. Oh, did you see what happened in Laramie? Oh, yes, I did. Oh, my God. And with their history, right? The history of Laramie is the story of a community that is united to stand up to protect after some atrocities have been committed in the past against members of the LGBTQ community, tortured, left for dead. Anyway, so yeah, yes, yeah. Well, so we don't have to cover that. Yep, that's one of the many. It's not funny, but it's the best I could do is laugh at how bad the news is going to be every day and how it really does get worse. Just, oh, God. It's, traumatizing, not just for me, but for everybody. Holy shit. Let's see what's going on with the famous Republicans. Who's that famous Republican? He identifies as a black Nazi. Trying to fit in with the white Nazis. Funny. I just watched a couple documentaries on Jesse Owens, boy, that's a story. It is a storybook story. Like, it's better than real life is better than anything anyone could have written with the Jesse Owens story. But, I feel like Kanye should see that maybe, right? But look at Kanye's album cover. You saw this if you saw Jimmy Kimmel. But look at this. Holy crap. That's the album cover. That's the album cover of his new album. I mean, oh, you know what? I want to turn off that overhead light behind me real quick. Pardon me. Here we go. All right. That's better. All right, so much bad news today. Oh, my God. And then I got some takes. I just watched these I've Had It ladies. Mo better. These I've Had It ladies are so great. And I didn't realize they were in Oklahoma. I mean, that's rebelliousness. God bless them. They called the MAGA a death cult, a cult of cruelty and hate. It's like, man, that is just so apropos. That's why I love you, ladies. Anyway, oh, we gotta check out the stock market because it just opened. Let's see what's going on. I'm pretty sure it just opened. So we'll see how it opened. That can often be an indication for what's going to happen throughout the day. Yeah. Continues. Teslas continue to burn all over the nation. I wish they would just hear my voice and not do that just because of the toxicity they're bringing into their communities and the challenges they're dumping at the laps of a good, hardworking fireman who doesn't need to be putting out Teslas, you know. Nevertheless, it's nice to see the Tesla empire burn, and not literally, but figuratively, just by the people not willing to purchase them, and the countries not willing to sell them, and not willing to. I mean, there's just so much data out there, and we haven't even seen, of course, as you've mentioned, the real number, the numbers that are happening right now. Man, I did a deep dive trying to find companies that supported DEI, so companies that donated to Kamala Harris, and there's few that in there that you can go thank by spending money, you know, at. But there is that list of donors to Project 2025. Of course, now we can add all the companies that quickly dismantled their DEI. And oh, the atrocities there, right? Getting rid of, you know, Jackie Robinson's, the history of Jackie Robinson. A freaking, you know, served in the military bravely, and then one of the greatest sports heroes of all time, and of course broke through all the barriers, you know, and something American. I wonder how many Republicans, assholes who were baseball fans, finally found something to be offended by. You know, oh yeah, I gotta take the credit away from Jackie Robinson, because that makes sense. And we haven't heard it yet, but I'm sure they're going to be taking credit away for trying to wipe the history of Jesse Owens' achievements, of course. And Pete Hegseth, doesn't he have tattoos? He's got some gang tattoos. Maybe we should deport him to an El Salvador prison. Jesus. Anyway. So, yeah, let me get into the stock market. So there is something, I found something interesting in the stock market. I'm not telling you, you know, what to do. But let's say you're putting together a portfolio of 20 companies, and you got your 16 companies that you've carefully selected that all pay dividends, and you've got, you know, room for a few that don't pay dividends, right? Tech companies, or, you know, someone like a Tesla or a whatever. Anyway, anyone that doesn't pay dividends, you know, a growth stock, as they say. It's interesting. I was just kind of, its ticker was there. I clicked on the stock, and, you know, it's kind of, charts tell a story, right? And I can't really do two things at once, sorry. But Rivian, right? I think it's obvious that Rivian is a direct competitor of Tesla, right? And their stock dropped. I mean, just recently, since the beginning of the year, it's dropped with the whole sector of tech, because they're a tech company as much as Tesla is, right? But their stock dropped from like 20 to 10. It dropped in half. But it seems like, and it's only $11 a share, so it's, you know, buying 100 shares costs you $1,000. And but it's $11 a share. But it bounced off. It dropped as low as I think 10-ish, and now it's up at 11. It was 11.65 when I saw it yesterday. But I mean, I could see someone making an argument that they would benefit from their competitor burning, while and I don't think that I don't see that they're on the map of companies. Oh, and that speaks to this other idea I was thinking. An ETF design, somebody, a mutual fund maker, an ETF maker. Someone should make one that's just free of any companies that support anything right wing. That are all going down. Amazon, all these guys are losing, and there's such an appetite to want to take wealth away from these billionaires, and people are realizing, oh, I can do that by just not using Amazon, not going to Walmart, not going to McDonald's, and strike back at those who've taken away their DEI, and while they're, oh my God, trying to take away the history of our code, our Navajo code, guys. Stuff that all of us are proud of. Our history being diverse makes us better, obviously, with Navajo code. All these historically brave soldiers that were black, including in the Civil War, Japanese in World War II, even though we were locking them up. There's just all these great examples. Anyway, women's service is being stricken. They're taking away all the history of women, the nurses that have patched up soldiers who were heroes just the same. I mean, it is just so offensive to anyone. And I think what we're seeing is we are seeing people who don't vote, who haven't voted, even through all this shit. They just stayed. I don't get into politics. I don't vote, no matter what. It's all the same, like George Carlin. And all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, you know what? I think I better start voting. I think a lot of these people at the town halls are people who didn't even vote. And now they're like, hey, well, I need to talk to this guy. It's time to get active. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Dow. Let's see the Dow. I think it's active. It's going at 3. Yeah, it's been open for for a half hour. Whatever. Okay, so it's up. Look at that. But I don't think it's gonna last. I laugh. I've been watching the stock market so long. I mean, if you can't see systemic problems, not to mention, how about like state of Kentucky? The governor was just on Midas Touch, Andy Beshear, smartest guy ever, great guy. If the rest of Kentucky could just vote Democrat, you realize people will buy your whiskey. So, oh man. Anyway, he explained the number 1 and 2 employers in rural America, in Kentucky, because it's rural America, are these medical facilities that are all going to get shut, and schools. And part of today's terrible, terrible news is Trump is signing an executive order today to end the Department of Education, because the best way to keep this cycle of Republican dipshits is by making sure no one can think critically. Take away education, make stupid people become Republicans much easier than anybody else. Anyway, so that's great bad news. Holy shit. Cheers. That's right. Go Canada. The sweet sip. Notice I'm drinking my whiskey neat, my Canadian Crown Royal whiskey. This message is happily made more interesting, I guess you could say. Or maybe I'm just, starting to fall off a cliff personally. No, I'm pretty good. I understand the dangers of alcohol, so I am potentially at times a 1, or in this case 2, a 2-drink alcoholic. That's right, folks. And I am in school right now, so I'll be able to report on the experience of going to a community college slash it's University of Hawaii, but it's merged with the community college, and I'm down to one class. It's kind of funny. I love the idea of just kind of lingering, being like that guy that never left the community college. I just love being a student, and even if it's one class, I'm going to enjoy that, and just keep moving forward, learn at least one thing, Yeah, I don't know what you're laughing at, but I'm glad you're laughing. Okay, so there's this one interesting good thing, potentially good thing. Okay, God, I can't believe it's just. And the woman who he put in that job donated $16 million to him, gave him $16 million so she could get this job, so she could destroy Linda McMahon. I mean, just another vile human being. Oh, if I was one of those, I love it because the ladies from I've Had It, they can call women the C word. And, they wouldn't get in the same kind of trouble I would. So the OPM, Russ the Puss Vaught, he's in charge of budget management. Anyway, just the architect of Project 2025, just the worst person. The writer of the Nazi Manifesto. He had, so apparently if you step out of your bounds in government, if you fire people, you're not allowed to fire, basically, which apparently he has done. You are potentially personally liable for damages. There's no protections. So there's a chance maybe that he'll be sued, and then victories will be made against him that will cost him his money out of his own pocket, maybe millions. And let's just hope. That would be wonderful. Of course, they'll figure out how to go after whoever's doing that and then lock them up, because that's where we're headed. It's getting real scary. This shit in El Salvador, sending off these people with no due process, presumed guilty, no presumption of innocence. One of them is likely somebody from the LGBTQ community who's very vulnerable, who didn't have any gang tattoos, who was in the process of working through the court system legally, volunteered, showed up legally, then just became incarcerated and was deported to El Salvador. It's just so disgusting and so reprehensible and such a violation of the law. And this guy, Tom Homan, I mean, why wouldn't he end up, these are crimes against humanity. He should be locked up at the Hague someday, right? He's kind of like Netanyahu. These guys are committing crimes against humanity. It's just, and it doesn't stop there. It's everywhere. That poor guy, Mahmoud Khalil, he wrote a letter. If you haven't heard about it or seen it, it'll break your heart. And it's just a crime what we're doing to him. He needs to be out for the birth of his child. He was just a protester. That's supposed to be our right, right? What I'm doing is supposed to be our right. And it looks like someday, luckily no one knows who I am, but if people did, I would be worried about being put in jail right now. Which, it's got to be kind of scary to be like Jimmy Kimmel or like any of these guys luckily all the Midas Touch guys are lawyers. They can defend themselves, and other people have, but the corruption of everything is happening all at once at the same time. And yeah, so that's more of the bad news. How about this guy Lutnick going on TV saying you should go buy, and this is exactly the kind of shit that he's telling people to buy the stock. It's half price. It's a great deal. Meanwhile, no one's buying them. Everything's burning. And Elon Musk feels bad. He's going to cry. What What if Elon Musk, richest man in the world, someone you could argue has everything anyone could ever dream of to make himself happy with? What if he commits suicide because he's so sad because everyone doesn't like him because he's a Nazi? Oh, the picture for this video, this lady, I think it was Australia. That was a beach, a huge beach. A lady drew that with her car. It's the coolest video I ever saw. I can't even believe. I mean, I don't know how she did that. It's so perfect. I mean, perfect. And amazing. And anyway, it's like she 3D. Anyway, yeah, it was like a printer and on the beach and don't buy Tesla with the arm out. Oh, God. Yeah, so I just had to take a picture of that. That needed to be another cover. So that's cool. So the Fed rate cuts. Let's talk about the Fed rate cuts. They didn't cut. We got two things going on at the same time. See, when inflation's going up, which it is, the way you stem inflation, often, typically, the Fed would react by raising interest rates, making money more expensive, pinching the money supply, so that there's less dollars chasing the same amount of goods, right? Too many dollars chasing too few goods creates inflation. So, right, and then there's the weak economy. You might lower interest rates if you have a weak economy to stimulate the economy. And so you got reasons to lower them, reasons to raise them, and so they kept them right where they are. They're unchanged. Anyway, you can expect future news. Trump will be just trying to command to lower interest rates, because he doesn't care about the stability of the economy. He's just an idiot. So, what else? Yes, I heard that awful name mentioned, Jordan Peterson. That guy. When I was taking philosophy classes, I used to do this thing that, isn't cool. I would talk to people about, philosophy and philosophers, knowing they didn't know any. They had no reference, right? Just basically talking sort of above them, about Epictetus, Epicurus, Plato, Socrates, whatever, Eastern philosophy, whatever. No one needed to hear that shit, and the way, but I knew I was like trying to make myself sound smart in a weird way at the time, and eventually I got perspective on it. But holy shit, when I listened to Jordan Peterson, I listened to the idiot I was when I was 21, taking all these classes, talking about this shit with people, because he's just always he just brings up shit, could be from the Bible, anything. And he knows no one knows what the fuck he's talking about. And so he's just preying on people with what he thinks makes himself sound smart. And he's just this, God. And then all of it is just this hidden white inferiority. They call it white supremacy, but we know it's inferiority. Just riddled throughout everything, just snuck in there. Everything is positioned in a way to try to do all the shitty things Republicans do. Put down women, whatever. All that shit. So, listen for it. Whenever Jordan Peterson's talking, just listen for his highbrow bullshit. He'll bring up Socrates or the Bible or some abstract fucking shit that he thinks he's so smart because he took a class in it. Or he teaches a class in it. Oh, God. I feel sorry for any of his freaking students. I think I mentioned this. It's kind of funny. If there was no such thing as Hitler, if these Nazis never did exist, of course, the world would have been better. But a lot of comedians would have a Hitler mustache, right? Because the first comedian, Laurel and Hardy, freaking the Marx Brothers, there's Hitler mustaches all over comedy in its earliest days, before Adolf Hitler. And then after Adolf Hitler, you just couldn't be a comedian with a Hitler mustache because it wasn't funny or weird anymore, But I just love watching the old shit because it's like, oh man, if I had been for Hitler, like right now, I might have one of those mustaches, wanting to get into comedy. There might be 50% of all comedians might have a Hitler mustache because he never made him suck. Anyway, it's just kind of funny how there's the pre-Hitler comedians and then the post-Hitler comedians, and there is a story of Hitler mustaches and then no longer Hitler mustaches. So that's just funny, I think, a little bit. What else? Oh, here's a future story. As some of you may know, I drove across the United States 6 times. There's videos from all that shit. And twice during the pandemic, and then, and then 4 times after the fire. And if you don't know this, I don't know if they're all documented or not, but like a vast, I don't know, maybe majority of our truckers, our dear truckers, who are doing God's work, bringing us our groceries that are now going to be more expensive from tariffs, but nevertheless, these guys are all immigrants, right? Just wait until these right-wing Nazis start rounding up truckers. Oh, God. Anyway, that is the future news, because they're going to target everybody. They're going after everybody, students, laborers, anybody with tattoos, apparently, just shipping them out of the country with no due process. And you know they're not doing any sort of careful work in there at all. It's just sick is what it is. And then, of course, they blamed scrubbing the history of all these heroes, Jackie Robinson, the Navajo Code talkers. They say, oh, AI did it right, because they're not doing any work. They're these assholes that are in our world right now that think that they know everything and they know nothing, right? Like young people. I'm in class. My teacher asks our whole class, can anyone tell me anything that happened last year? Anything, like in the news? And nobody knew anything. One person said, was there an election? Like, let alone knowing who was in it. Okay, and yet these guys, they all think they know everything. And because they know everything, the smartest thing to do is just have AI do everything, because that's just so smart. And it's obviously not, and that's how they're doing. There is no thought process. There's no smart Elon Musk people. Elon Musk people are just stealing. That's all they're tasked to do. They're just saying, AI, go in here and send out emails to all the employees, or 50% of the employees, and start with the probationary workers, and then work your way through women and black people, and then scrub everything of anything that says DEI, or of any black people, or women, or Asians, or Native Americans, right? They're just having AI do it. And so that's why you see this just ignorant, arbitrary, just cutting of things that makes no sense, because it's not a human doing any of it. And this is really, I mean, if there's something that we should resist, it's replacing jobs with AI. First of all, they're not going to do a better job most of the time, obviously. We need to keep people working. People working is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Unless we just want to pay people to not work and have AI. I mean, if that's really what how's that going anyway? And there may be some of that someday, right? What else? Let's see here. Oh, Canada's canceling flights to Tennessee. There's nobody coming. They are. Do you realize? Yeah. Do you realize that we would have, like what Trump said, oh, we're being taken advantage of? We have a trade surplus with Canada. We sell way more of our shit in their country than they do in ours. The only thing that actually gives us on the balance sheet a trade imbalance is all the energy we buy, because we need the energy. They produce energy for us, right? Like, whether, I don't know, it's Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the border states up there. They're giving us energy, electricity for our homes, and that's what pushes them to having an selling us more stuff than we sell them. But everything that goes against that is actual products: Tennessee whiskey, Coca-Cola, whatever, you name it, right? American products all over Canada, everywhere. And they're now saying, fuck you, and rightly so. And we don't, I mean, if we actually went to war with them, there might be more Americans wanting to go fight for Canada. Yeah, that would be the patriotic thing to do. Anyway, can't believe we're having this conversation. Holy shit, let's drink. I mean, you shouldn't. Don't do this at home. I'm like a acrobat. Don't try this at home. It's bad for you, okay? I don't want to be a bad influencer. Don't want to be an influencer, period. Anyway, obviously the JFK, there's nothing in the JFK files that we didn't already know. And it's all just an obfuscation for the Jeffrey Epstein files. You know, Donald Trump's best friend, Jeffrey Epstein, who procured his young women at Mar-a-Lago. Man, so, best thing ever, though. Think about this. If Trump can run for a third term, so can Obama, right? And Obama could get in the race and just kick his ass so soundly. It would be great. Anyway, what if, gee whiz, there's a cure for sickle cell anemia. Thank God for all the science under Joe Biden. Hadn't been for all the Joe Biden science, it's never would happen. Now that all the scientists are fired, we're not going to make any more cures. The question is, of course, how much is a cure for sickle cell anemia going to cost? It is a disease that causes immense suffering. When we found the cure to, hepatitis C, what do? Oh, Harvoni, we got this drug. Call us, get the cure. You know what the cure costs? $100,000. When we come up with a cure for a major disease, if I was the king president, I will make sure that shit was free, right? Fuck all their patents. It's a goddamn cure for a disease. Polio vaccines cost 10 cents, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's a good amount of money for a cure. 10-cent polio vaccines. And of course, Trump called Canada nasty. He didn't call North Korea, China, or Iran, or Netanyahu, or Putin nasty. He called our friends to the north, our best trading partner, Ottawa itself, one province, or is that I might have it wrong, that part wrong, but one of the provinces, the guy that guy Ford presides over, they by themselves, they're our nation's third largest trading partner. Anyway, August 2nd, the big date on the map is August 2nd. Why? Because that's when all these shit-ass tariffs are supposed to go into effect. And then we're just going to get rich because we're just going to start taking money from other countries because Trump doesn't realize that's not how it works. We're not going to be taking money from other countries. We'll be taking it from ourselves. Oh, God, Republicans are so stupid. Oh, God, they're stupid. And awful. And they're so harmful to our country. Oh, let's hope. I mean, my God. And now, of course, Social Security's been interrupted. And now old people are coming off the fence. People who didn't vote. People who might have voted for Trump are saying, holy shit. Did I just vote to screw myself? Like the farmers in Nebraska and in Iowa and in Ohio and everywhere. Bakersfield. Oh God, I mean, wait till the ripple effects. I mean, what would you do if you were an undocumented field worker right now? You know, hopefully, hopefully you had like a bunch of work already done and an ability to save money, and now you can like camp out in the woods for 4 years. Wonder how many people are moving into the hills. I really think Faraday cages are a good idea. You know, those little purses that'll block your phone that's spying on you, tracking your location. If you are vulnerable in any way, even green card holders. Oh, and which is crazy because there is this community of Mexicans who got here legally, who look down on those coming illegally and don't vote Republican, right? And I mean, some of those might be green card holders even, and now they're being targeted. And some of them might just be a Mexican second, third generation with an accent and a bunch of tattoos that doesn't have his license on them, and they just scoop you up and deport you, like before you have a chance to anything. Anyway, let's hope all our Latino brothers and sisters never vote for Republicans ever again, because, like, how could you? Why would you? Oh, it hurts my heart to see these people being just tortured. No humans deserve to be tortured. Of course, unless, you know, I mean, we lock people up to basically torture them in our country if they've done really bad things. You could argue maybe that's the one case. But that's got to be proven through due process. I mean, shit. And then deporting people to countries that isn't even their own. It's so hauntingly cruel. We need to get all those people back and pay them $6 million for it, right? Just wait, what's the next country that's going to take money to take our prisoners? I bet Putin would love to lock up some Americans. Holy shit. Oh, so yeah, right now he's signing an executive order saying, screw you. We don't need an education. God. Oh my God. That is. Could the news get any worse? Well, you just wait. Tomorrow, somehow Trump is going to deliver just a flood of shit ass, and Republicans everywhere just going to do horrible shit everywhere. Oh, and then they're going to go, before they get home to their family, like that guy in Minnesota, they're going to go try to hook up with a child. The family man. Yeah. What else is going on? So Powell, the Fed chairman, you just, any moment, Trump's going to try to just start working on him and the Fed to exploit our money supply and put too much money out there, which will drive inflation up. There's people talking, and there very well may be a plan to try to devalue our dollar, which will screw all of us. To push shit towards crypto, which is gross and dangerous. Crypto is fucking un-American, and it threatens the stability of money, and it's stupid. I'm never gonna own crypto, even though I realize lots of people, smart people, got rich on it. Fine, let that be the way you get rich. But I ain't ever gonna use it or spend it, and if that's anyway, yeah. So yeah. What else? Drones. Oh, Air Force Base. More drones over Air Force. Apparently, these guys, maybe China, you know, is making just millions of drones. I mean, it's sad. And that's how they're targeting Ukrainians right now. Russia's got all kind of drones because, you know, Iran makes drones. China makes billions of them. And North Korea's got all kinds of weapons. So just when both these psychopathic killers, Netanyahu and Putin, said, yeah, let's have a ceasefire, right after that, they love to lull their opponents into thinking they're safe, and then they traumatize the shit out of them and murder as many as they can. And they just murdered like more Palestinians in 2 days. And like Palestine needs to be bombed any more. I mean, it's like, holy shit, what? They just bombed them More? What's left to bomb? How is anybody even alive? I mean, holy shit, the trauma. I mean, I'm suffering some fucking weak ass PTSD compared to what they. Imagine the trauma, and they're targeting children. They just murdered like 200 children yesterday. And of course, Trump was quick to do what Biden, at least Biden wouldn't give them 2,000-pound bombs anymore. Trump changed that. And the 2,000-pound bombs are so gnarly. The shockwave kills people a block away. Just blast your internal organs. It's just gnarly. Anyway, world is pretty fucked up. Oh, god damn shit. I hope you're all safe and you can do everything you can to avoid getting in the mixer of any of this. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I just get so inspired by all these people. We got to put our voice out there. We got to fight back. We got to resist in whatever way we can. And so while I hold up in paradise here, working my brain issues out, least I could do is regurgitate all this. It's kind of my the bad thing I've been doing. I mean, kind of a bad habit is just staying home and watching too much TV. But the news has been so bad and compellingly bad, and it sucks me in. And then all the other screens. I mean, I got video games. I play this one video game I start making content of. And, I just watch a ton of news. Occasionally I can finally get off news and watch some TV show, but usually, and then I go right back to it. It is, because it's so shitty, it's like a train wreck. I can't turn away from it. Train wreck Trump, the traitor. I thought that should have been a slogan or a clothing line. Train wreck Trump. Anyway. How about Greenpeace being crushed? What we need is some billionaire, who cares about doing good, who's not like Harlan Crow, the Nazi, right? What if we had a billionaire who would step in and save Greenpeace? But anyway, they went up and participated with the Native Americans protesting the pipeline invasion through their territory, underground, under bodies of water, which could pollute. Very justifiable objections, and not to mention their land should be theirs to decide. Greenpeace goes up and just also participates. They didn't organize it, but then they're found guilty of all this bullshit, just lies, and like several $100 million, enough money to destroy Greenpeace. Like bankrupted. So let's hope some billionaire steps in to try to hook them up, because that just makes the Republicans so happy. It's big business. It's an energy company. A Texas energy company sued Greenpeace from their joining a protest with Native Americans in, I think, North Dakota or South Dakota. I think it was North Dakota, but whatever. Anyway, gross, reprehensible. Right-wing, corporate, evil. Yeah, how about Kanye with that Nazi symbol, huh? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. My fucking God. Oh, these idiots that think that somehow this is going to play out well, long term. Like Elon. Let's see. So yeah, they're in the process of vilifying protesters, of course, so then they can just start locking up protesters, right? Just like they vilified all the BLM protesters. They became the target, right? Now they're gonna, you just wait. It's just, the messaging is already it's been written. They're just waiting for these protests to heat up more and more. They're going to commit more atrocities against more people. It's going to be a protest against the Heritage Foundation. It's going to be a protest about Mahmoud Khalil. There's going to be a protest about the Rhode Island doctor getting shipped off. About the people getting shipped off to El Salvador. Protest against the USAID. All the people being murdered by that shit. And on and on. Protests about so many things, so many places, everywhere, all the time. And then they're going to say, well, we got to crack down. You know, we got to crack down on these leftists, these liberal extremists. Yeah. Everyone that gives a shit about anything is an extremist, and the Nazis, they're the normal ones. And they even recently tried to say that they're the party of common sense. And it makes me kind of vomit is when I see 49% approve, but that's obviously like all the Republicans in there, which are like higher than 50, and then and then the people trying to lash out at Democrats. You're not doing enough. You American people need to do enough and vote for the right people. You want to help Democrats fight, vote for them. I'd be pissed off too. Why the fuck didn't you vote for me? Anyway, boy, do I have dreams. I have dreams. Dreams of moving somewhere and taking out a Republican in some district. Wouldn't that be just the most American thing you could do right now? I tell you what, shit. Let's see. Oh, how about these two ladies? So while Hamilton canceled going to the Kennedy Center, and any artist with any respect that has money is gonna not go to the Kennedy Center, but these two lovely young folk artists decided to do it, and then they protested. They put up signs on stage at the Kennedy Center. Nora Brown and Stephanie Coleman, God bless them. They were on Democracy Now! This morning. I tell you what. How about this? The narcissists. Oh, God. If you don't know what narcissism looks like, it's when a dipshit sociopath like Trump, he just put up, there's 4 new big portraits at the Kennedy Center. Paintings. They're Melania, J.D. Vance's wife, and Donald Trump. The 4 new portraits, right? So fucking vain and gross. Everything he does all the time, everywhere, is vain, gross, corrupt, hurtful, bad. Literally, we need a different, new second party. There is not one redeeming quality. Hasn't been as long as I've been alive. They've tried to obfuscate it and pretend that there were redeeming qualities, but there's not one redeeming quality to the Republican Party. It doesn't need to exist. We don't need a second strong party like them. We need one that cares about workers, women's rights, voting rights, human rights, the environment, gun safety, and that's not pro-war. And that would be the perfect contrast. And the Democrats right now, we know they're as pro-war as the Republicans. So let's let the Democratic Party stay the way it is, and then we'll just have a different kind of Democratic Party that is for peace. We can have one's for war, one for peace, and that can be the big debate, and then maybe about tax policy. But the rest of it is common sense, right? We should just be nice. God damn. And it's crazy that it's these religious people that are the meanest ones. That's superiority bullshit. Oh, God. It's a real turnoff. Nothing makes me more sicker than the I'm better than you because I'm a true believer energy. Holy shit. Gross. That's a lot of the news. A lot of the news from the last 8 hours. Oh my God. But yeah, tattoos, suddenly you can get swept up and sent off to El Salvador because you're guilty of having tattoos, and there's a whole lot. The waitress that just served me yesterday when I went over to try to do open mic. By the way, I tried to do open mic comedy, and they canceled it. It's always something. But yeah, there are many frustrations trying to do open mic comedy. I've learned never to expect anything good or that'll even happen or that'll even be going on that night. And then if I'm surprised to the contrary, then that's pleasant. But I have learned to be so skeptical, I have no expectations ever, which is why I'm eventually going to get my head out of the clouds, rent out a theater, and I'm going to start doing 1-hour comedy shows all by myself. But my strategy is that I'm gonna get guys that have never done comedy before, never done stand up. I got a few lined up that are willing to try, and that's gonna be my opening act. And I think that's gonna be, I'd love to make that my trademark. All my opening acts will be people who've never done stand up comedy. But yeah, so man, I was thinking I could do the show I was gonna do. I had a range set of jokes, my nuts jokes, my penis jokes, maybe a fart joke. It's a gay crowd potentially. It's the one gay bar supposedly, although all bars, we're very accepting of the gay community in Hawaii. Ancient Hawaiians were very accepting of gay people. So it's immersed in all the cultures, and I just forgot what I was saying. It's all that marijuana. All that marijuana. It's good weed you're smoking if you forget where you were at. I'm not doing the weave. I'm just forgetting where I'm at. Oh God. So then there's the Trump gold card. Trump thinks D's nuts. Oh, have you seen these? You've seen these. You've seen these. Can I show you my white nuts? Can I? You want to see my white nuts? These are my white nuts. These are delicate, These nuts. Thank you for asking. These nuts are my glazed nuts. See my glazed nuts? I gotta use that at a Giants game. But look at the nice glaze. See the glaze? And yeah, so these are, look, Trump nuts mixed with black nuts. Anyway, glazed. And my white nuts. So I'm glad. Thank you for asking. Happy to show you my nuts once again. Nothing more fun than doing that in public, After the fire, I was there at the shelter with a bunch of my local friends, and I've never seen so many donations, snack foods, everything in a box, and there were these crackers I'd never seen before, and they're really good. I mean, they're like the best crackers ever, right? Like, they're from Japan. They're called Skyflakes crackers, purple package, and they look like this. They're like, see, purple, Japanese crackers, right? Best crackers ever, really. And right then, immediately, I was like, oh. And you've heard this before, I know. I said to my local friends, I said, oh, I didn't know there was Japanese purple crackers. I thought all crackers were white. Oh, that's some of my best work. Anyway, let's see. Yes, and shit, that is, and again, Pete Hegseth, man, let's deport him. Oh, I got one more, and this is a future joke, kind of, and it's more skewed towards old people, because young people don't know who Farrah Fawcett is, but if you can't see it coming, and now I never really had long hair, except for during the pandemic, and my friend at the Super Bowl party, I was with a bunch of real men, watching the Super Bowl, and one of my friends says to me, I never seen you with long hair, Craig. He said, don't take this the wrong way, but your hair looks kind of pretty. If I was standing up, my knees would buckle just telling this story. Makes me laugh so much. Anyway, so yeah, amongst men's men, I'm a man's man, I have been told that my hair is downright pretty, which I course I enjoy that. That's just great. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm just like a month away from Farrah Fawcett hair. I'm gonna have Farrah Fawcett hair pretty soon. Look at the natural curl. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If I just keep letting it go, I'm gonna be like Farrah Fawcett, 1976. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not there yet, but pretty soon. I look forward. If I can get there, I mean, I might have to cut it sooner because I can't take it anymore. But if I can, look forward to my future Farrah Fawcett hair. Because it's downright pretty. Anyway, you see me with short hair. That's if you're a waiter, you get paid a lot more with short hair. You want to be clean shaven, short hair, and people pay you a lot more as a server. Okay. Yeah, people are prejudicial, and you want to play to that prejudice as best you can so that you can make a living. Oh my God, all right, so that's all the bad news. I'm gonna start watching the shitty news again, and in like fucking 4 hours, I'll have enough to tell you a whole shitty story. Oh, I'm under an hour, that's good, man. I'm sorry, it's like, if I do this twice a day, could I possibly get it down to 40 minutes just telling you all the news? By the way, nobody does all the news. I'm the only one doing all the news. If you watch all the news, you're gonna hear. Oh, and then of course the storms, the people suffering, and FEMA's getting gutted, and all these rural states are having all their jobs taken. You know, please, what would it take, you guys? Please, red states. See, I'm always gonna be ugly, right? You can lose weight. You can go from being a Republican to a Democrat like that, and lose that insurrectionist, traitor, Nazi stench, right? I can't lose ugly. You can lose your affiliation with the Republican Party. So just remember that. If you're one of these dipshits who it has caused the suffering and death and torture of countless humans, right? Just causing pain. Like, I don't know how you sleep at night. It's hard for me to sleep at night for the decisions you made. Anyway, all right. Love you guys. Don't gamble. Don't snort nothing. Don't pop pills. Don't hang out with violent people. Don't get in the wrong relationships. I have 2 friends committed suicide because they got in the wrong relationship. I've seen people on the news killing their whole family because they got in the wrong relationship. Or their wife got in the wrong relationship, and they're, that guy. If someone's violent, don't hang out with them, okay? Punish them by never spending time with them ever again. Violent people eventually will beat the shit out of you. What else? Wear condoms. Fuck all these people. No one's afraid of AIDS anymore. What the hell's wrong with you? You should be afraid of AIDS, okay? Be afraid. Wear a condom. Don't spread venereal disease. Whether you're in a seniors living environment or you're 17. Anyway, and do no harm and do no crime unless your harm or your crime, it's not harm, unless your crime is seeking health care and you're a woman in a shit ass red state that could become a flower of a blue state, right? You don't have to stay shit ass, but so long as you've taken away women's rights, there are shithole states now. Every state that women have no rights in the United States is now, it's a fact. Everyone agrees on, everyone knows, everyone's saying they're shithole states. But like, I'm ugly. They can change. I can't. So, change your vote. Let's eliminate the Republican Party completely. They serve no purpose. Anyway, all right. I think that covers all the shit that can. Oh, and if your crime is smoking a little weed, that ain't a crime. Don't get caught. Be smart. And if you do get caught with a real small amount. Don't leave your house with it. Just get high at home and then go into the world with weed in your brain and don't get in trouble. And, yeah. And that's everything I got. All right, I love you guys. Do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for watching all the things all the time. Aloha. Love you guys. Aloha. All right.